This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Now, I don't know when a YouTube channel called There I Ruined It is ever going to jump the shark, because the idea being is their job is to ruin everything.
Right.
But when do they ruin themselves? I don't know. Could this be it?
Well, so often, like, they'll put up these mashups. I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And then we listen to it and I'm like, all right, I guess I never knew I needed that, but now I do.
Right. Guess I'm buying the CD when it comes out.
Right? Sign me up.
I'm in that same situation again, Steve, where I'm like, do we need this? But what they did this time is they took the Mario Brothers video game theme. You guys,
what an iconic theme.
Yeah.
All right, so already I'm sold.
Right. Yes. They took that, and then they took the vocal track from Eminem's "Lose Yourself."
Oh, jeez. Mom Spaghetti.
And they pitch corrected the vocals. Ooh. With an auto-tune machine, of course. And, here's the mashup I don't know if we need or not.
Snap back to reality. Oh, it goes gravity. Oh, it goes gravity. He's so mad he won't give up. Daddy's he know. He won't have it, he knows. He's so fast, he's ropes. He's so mad he moves. It's found in the music. The moment you roll it, you will never let it go. You only get one shot. Not miss your chance to blow.
All right, well, this is one of those instances where I was very excited and completely let down.
Yeah, they did ruin it.
Yeah, they did.
Wow. I mean, never have I been more excited for one and been so disappointed.
This is what happens sometimes. Is it's better maybe not to be that excited.
I mean,
on paper it was a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, he is called There I Ruined It, so
he
very
ruined
much
it.
did.
That's the problem, is when all of a sudden do they ruin themselves with, where you go, I don't, you know what, you ruined it so much I really don't even care anymore.
So often we listen to those, I'm like, oh, that guy's clearly been smoking a lot of pot. And I think they need to drug test to make sure I think he switched from pot to meth, because that was weird, man.
That was a weird acid trip.
I didn't like that one. Make it stop.
Bad trip.
There is a reason why one of Vicky's famous voices that she loves to do is the one that we don't like, and that's the high-pitched voice that she loves to do that we all hate.
I like this one. I can't even do it now.
I'm so glad you can.
God.
It's so nice that your voice got blown out so you can't do it.
Excuse me.
Allergies.
What's Vicky been doing these days?
I think the cottonwood.
You know what? That cottonwood is a beating.
It's turned me into a mouth breather.
Yeah.
Like at night, so I'm like,
all right.
I'm so glad I don't have a boyfriend, because I've been snoring like crazy. I never snore.
Yikes.
Well, now you do, buddy.
Who wants
Thanks,
me
Mr.
now?
Cottonwood. There you go. Who doesn't want a piece of that action?
Yeah, I'm really bothered by that version that he did. Like,
I am too.
If we don't ever heard that again,
it started off also kind of okay. I'm like, okay, this is so dumb, but and then when you're right, it was that high pitched thing.
Yeah.
Like, man, you maybe should have left that one on the drawing board.
Yep, I agree.
Well, they all can't be home runs.
No, and then you go, look, they delivered as they advertised. They ruined it. And
maybe that was the thing. He went into like a boardroom meeting with himself, because I'm sure it's just him that does these. And he's just like, people are enjoying these. The whole point was to ruin these songs.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's like, we're totally off brand. We need to fix this. Well, how about this? We've got a car thief that was released from jail and then arrested again after trying to, you guessed it, steal another car. Steve will tell you all about this, genius. He's got the Mix Report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle, presenting Pain in the Grass. Yeah, man, after a long layoff, the biggest show in the Pacific Northwest is back, and it is the biggest show in the Pacific Northwest this summer because it's 3 or 4, pretty much. I mean, there's big days, baby. Labor Day weekend.
Some would say it's bonkers or bananas.
Wow. Bananas. That S is bananas?
Sure. I believe that was the initial catchphrase we were going to go with, but it was just a
we couldn't get her to show up, so we thought, well, what the heck.
Get to see Incubus, Alice in Chains, Breaking Benjamin Bush, Sammy Hagar. I mean, a bunch of great local bands like Wyatt Only and The Wreckage. Also, Glenn Cannon, The Damage Done, Aaron Jones. It's going to be nuts, BJ.
Yeah, it's 3 big days. The Labor Day weekend, Friday, September 3rd, all the way through Sunday, September 4th. There's also a kickoff show at the Moore Theater on Wednesday, August 31st. Look, you go to KISW.com, you'll see all the bands. Like Steve said, so much talent just performing on all those days. And you can get tickets at Ticketmaster right now. You can get $9.99 lawn seats for Friday and Sunday show if you're a Rockaholic Club member, and that's free to join. Also, we have a limited number of BJ and Migs party tickets as well, where you get to hang out with us. And like Steve says, you take a break from the insanity, get a beverage. Usually we have some sort of snacky something.
Snacky snacks.
Yeah, a little something for you.
Little gifts, some tchotchkes.
Yeah. And so we offer you like an oasis in the desert of awesome. So, those tickets are available as well. And you want more info? Well, you know where to go. KISW.com.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
So are we saying the Desert of Awesome is the White River Amphitheater?
That is the whole Pain in the Grass celebration.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's a interesting sometimes you do need a break from awesome. Because you're still you're spending a lot of energy and you're just out there enjoying amazing. But it can
the desert of the White River Amphitheater.
Yeah, the desert of awesome.
It can get warm.
Hey, thanks to Law Tigers for giving us the Mix Report. And hey, while you're in the desert of awesome, maybe you want to take off your shoes because today is a happy National Barefoot Day.
Oh wow.
I'm not a barefoot kind of guy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, flip-flops, sliders, anything. Just protect my feet from potentially stepping on a turd.
Yeah, arguably, we're designed to not have stuff on our feet and just run around barefoot. That's what we're supposed to do as human beings. But then, of course, concrete ruined all that.
It's also Oscar the Grouch Day, BJ. So happy day to you.
Oh man!
It's also Dinosaur Day, BJ. So happy day to you.
Hey, there you go. Boy, this is
Tatum does a very good dinosaur impression. It's exactly. It sounds just like her bear and also her It's not a lying impression, just like as Rev just made it. Rawr.
She takes after Dad. I get it.
Yeah. It's a fine line. There's nuances, but you just don't notice them if you don't pay attention.
It's just like the Griffeys, man. You know, talent just gets passed down generation after generation.
That's right. There. And today, I don't know if you looked at the calendar, but today is June 1st.
Oh, what's that mean?
I just thought it was funny because it just brings me back to the great Jimmy Kimmel bit where he put together a montage of all these news anchors losing their S because today is June 1st.
It is June 1st.
Cannot believe it, can you?
Can you believe it is June 1st already? Hard to believe it's June already, right? Hard to believe June 1st is already here. Hard to believe today is June 1st.
I can't believe it's already June.
Can you believe it's June 1st already?
It's hard to believe it's June 1st.
Hard to believe it's June 1st. I can't believe it's June. I know, June 1st.
I cannot believe it's June 1st. Cannot believe that it's already June 1st. Hard to believe it's June already.
It's June.
It is June.
Can you believe it's June already?
No, it's unbelievable. Can you believe it that we're in June?
They went by quickly. It really did.
Cow.
I don't know, if you guys, can you believe it's June 1st?
Holy cow! Wow! You know, this is. Just think, in 24 days, it'll be the halfway point to Christmas.
Oh my gosh, can't believe it.
I can't. I mean, what?
You know what I can't believe is a guy who got arrested for stealing a car gets released from jail, and what does he do? Try and steal another car. And that's not even the best part of the story.
Got to stay on brand.
His name is Aiden Crowley. He's from Nevada. He's 21 years old, and he was released from jail on Saturday after he was arrested for a vehicle burglary the day before.
Yep.
Well, he didn't have a ride home, so he decided, you know what, I'm capable and I have the skill set to steal another car. Woo! And he stole it out of the jail parking lot.
All right, well, I mean...
They caught him right in the parking lot, and they're like, yeah, that's not your car. So he was arrested again.
Nice work, Jaden.
I do love, though, it was in a place in Nevada that has, it's the Washoe County, but it looks like Wash Ho. And I'm like, well, if there's ever a place where you need to wash a hoe, it's Nevada, right?
That's a good point.
Sorry. That's the reason why I did the story, really. Another story about an idiot that was driving. This guy was driving and he was drunk, and it happened in Indiana. People were calling 911 because, like, dude, there's a drunk driver. It's like Monday afternoon. What the hell's going on? He was driving erratically. He crashed into a median. The crash caused a flat tire. The car was smoking, but he kept driving in it. And that's where things got super strange because the tire fell off, and he stopped at a car dealership where he tried to sell that car to the dealership.
Well, yeah, because if you sell the car, your getaway vehicle is no longer tied to you and you get some cash. It's a brilliant plan, except, of course, people have to be stupid.
Stupid and drunk. And also, he's a relative. He's the son of a famous person, DJ.
Who's this?
You remember Don Mattingly? The baseball guy?
No.
It's his son.
Yeah, Don,
Jordan Mattingly. He was 30 years old. Don's the manager right now for the Miami Marlins. He was a New York Yankee great when he was a player.
Oh, so it's his son pulling this move?
Yes. How about he blew a .291, which is 3.5 times the legal limit?
That's better than some batting averages.
Yeah, he's right about that, especially this year, Rev. It's pretty much better than almost every Mariner batting average.
Speaking of sports, how about them Seattle Thunderbirds? Yeah! What a win yesterday. Won Game 7 of the WHL Western Conference Finals. They're on to the championships for the WHL Championships, taking on the Edmonton Oil Kings. So games 3 and 4 will be happening in Seattle, or at Kent, at the ShoWare Center, which is next week, June 7th and June 8th. Here's the strange part. So, it's a 7-game series. So usually, the team with the home ice advantage, of course, gets more games of those 7 games. So they'd get 4 opportunities, and if it goes all 7 games, and then the road team, or the T-Birds, would get 3. But they're only getting 2 games at home. So
what?
The Oil Kings are getting 5 home games. Again, if this goes 7 games. So we're only getting games 3 and 4. And you're like, well, why aren't they getting another game? Because graduations are happening at the ShoWare Center. So they moved their home game to Edmonton. Which makes all the sense. So we're having a home game in the arena of the team that we're playing. It's technically a home game.
I don't. Yeah, so I guess we'll be wearing our home jerseys, but so what?
I mean, yeah, you get like you get the last chance to change your lines. I mean, there's certain things, but really the true spirit of having a home ice advantage is the crowd that's supporting you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Is this a dumb idea? But wouldn't it have made more sense? I'm sure people wouldn't have been down for this in Everett, but put them into the Silvertips Arena or something, or maybe even at I don't know.
I mean, how crazy would it have been to see if they could have played at the
Climate Pledge? I don't know if maybe there's something going on, but I was like, why is there 5? Did I miss something? And then I read more about the story, and they're like, yeah, T-Birds can't have another home game because of graduations.
Wow.
Stupid kids.
Yeah.
That's very smart kids. They're graduating.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's hard to fault the arena. You got to make money.
And they probably were like, we didn't think they were going to go this far.
Well, yeah, normally you
should have
go,
thought of that. Come on.
What are the chances our team goes where they're going to go like that and it all will fall that way? Wow, that is... yeah, and I imagine it's for travel. It's probably super expensive. If it was a major league hockey team, if it was the NHL, maybe they could have pulled something. But
this is junior hockey.
Yeah, so they don't have a lot of budget to move stuff around and say, well, hey, we'll do this, that. Yeah, so I guess this is the best they can do.
Still they've been playing well on the road, so maybe it works out to their advantage.
Yeah, if you have the Edmonton Oil Kings, you're like, really?
Or maybe
we don't want to do this.
T-Birds just need to sweep it so that way they could have Game 4 at home and win it all at home.
Oh, there you go.
I like the way you think, sir.
Thank you. Well, how about that Oilers game yesterday? Speaking of Edmonton, we got the Western Conference Finals between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. Dude, this game, I mean, it was a real nail-biter when it came to, just defensive play, great goaltending. Colorado ended up winning 8-6.
Wow, that was a real nail-biter, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
8-6?
8-6.
What?
It was just some
of these hockey games, I do not understand the scores. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, they are saying that this is more the offensive-minded playoff series with Edmonton and Colorado, and it definitely showed. And then when you got the Rangers and Tampa, they feel like that's going to be a more defensive-minded because they both have just studs as goalies. So it's kind of interesting that the finals will be a battle of a really good offensive team taking on a really good goaltending/defensive team.
We'll come back to that when we go to the finals, and I'll get your impressions to see if it's like other sports.
Dude, it's crazy because, if Edmonton had I like Mike Smith, their goalie, but he's just not a clutch goaltender. If they had a solid goalie, man, they'd just be unstoppable. But
instead, they're stoppable.
There was a controversial goal. Some people thought it was an offsides. It's one of those ones where, if you had the conversation, because it looked like it was an offsides, but then when they really break it down, it's about possession, the puck going over, a delayed offsides, kind of. It was just a matter of just inches, and turns out all the video judges are yes, it looks like an offsides, but it turns out it wasn't, and the goal was legit. But man, I bring it up because the announcers for Sportsnet, which is like Sports Center for ESPN for Canada, one of the female announcers, she said something that I've never heard before, and then I see all my Canadian buddies talking yeah, we've been noticing some people say it this way, but we never noticed it as well, so I didn't think it was a Canadian thing. And, me being just the English leader when it comes to pronouncing things properly.
Of course.
For me to notice something, it's got to be strange. Here, I wonder if you notice which word sounds kind of odd.
There you go. But of course, game one was not without some controversy late in the first period.
Oh, yeah. That is
controversy?
That is British.
What?
That's how the Brits say controversy. They say controversy. Yeah,
I've heard that before.
Put the damn glass of tea down and let's be Canadian.
You're going to get your mind blown if you ever hear them say aluminum.
Aluminium?
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Controversy?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, interesting.
It is. It is. When I first heard that said on some English show, I was
watching hockey, not Downton Abbey.
There you go. That's it. Stand up for your rights as a Canadian American.
North America. F yeah.
F yeah. Wow. I mean, it's odd that she says it that way because I know there's a French influence in parts of Canada, but, I guess they have a prime minister. They do have some royalty.
I don't know, man.
I guess there is some English influence in that country from somewhere. I don't know how or why.
I think she was just trolling her other announcer guys to see if anyone would call her out on it. And they didn't. That would be
and she
funny.
doesn't even have really much of an accent that would make me even feel like she's British. So, where did she pick that up?
Controversy.
Yeah.
A very controversial word. That's it. Yes. Speaking of announcers, though, I do love bringing up these moments because it just seems like this has been the year of people catching foul balls in the stands in epic fashion. Yes, this one happened with the Angels game. I think they're taking on the Blue Jays. Foul ball goes out into the stands. Guy makes the catch, barehanded, while holding 2 cans of beer in his other arm. It's pretty amazing. Wow. And the announcers, they do the play-by-play.
Hit well, but foul. Did you think there was any chance as a fan who made him play? You were going to get a baseball there.
Brought his glove, right? Or did he get it barehanded?
Yes.
Oh,
what a play.
Oh, nice. And he didn't lose the 2 Modelos.
Unbelievable catch. He leans back, gets it, still holding those Modelo beer.
That's right.
Then instead of fist bumping people, he starts fist bumping them with the baseball.
That's how you
such
do.
A baller move.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, I want to touch the ball of a champion.
All right, I saved this for last because this is like the greatest thing I've ever heard, BJ. So I love minor league baseball because it's just so different and unique, and there's always fun stuff going on. I also love it because that seems to be the training ground for a lot of like up and coming play-by-play announcers. So, Steven Strasburg, you know him from the Washington Nationals. He's a stud of a baseball player.
Yes,
he got sent down to the minors, I think, for a little rehab stint, get his arm moving again. So the announcers, you know, he's the announcer for the Fredericksburg Nationals, and he's got his own unique way of doing the play-by-play. And I've got a couple of clips. So here's his name is Joey Zanaboni, which I think is the greatest name.
Zanaboni?
That is not his real name.
Yes.
Come on.
I went on his Twitter. His bio says he's the play-by-play voice your grandma loves.
Okay, I love Joey.
He wants to be the first real millennial sports announcer, and boy, oh boy, he's getting a lot of traction with the way that he was calling this game. Here, check it out.
Straws! Ghosting them like an OK Cupid Halloween party. John Stamos, Full House, get him out of there, baby! Steven Strasburg, ask for his credit card info in a spam email message. Let's go fishing with a BH. Sneak a live cat through a TSA pre-checkpoint.
What the hell is he saying?
I love this guy.
And the name is perfect for his delivery. Damn, Joey Zanaboni.
Yeah.
We got another clip of him just talking about Steven Strasburg on the mound.
Tease again, let's get Fred Nasty. Brendan Collins, very good off speed. Is nothing like his, though. Freeze it like pay raises at a poorly run cryogenics laboratory.
I love the other guy. You hear the other announcers just kind of giggling, like, what am I doing here?
Right. That is fantastic.
Joey Zanaboni.
That is fantastic. I mean, when you think about it, right? I mean, every play-by-play guy has their own shtick. You know, you think about, Rick Riz, right?
Yes.
You know, goodbye baseball, stuff like that. He's just doing it for a younger audience, which is desperately needed for baseball. I think this kid's great.
I love it. He says, we're raised on iPhones and smart toilets and Family Guy. Mine is not a toast the world as it was, but it's just basically saying he's a millennial and he's going to deliver the play-by-play that way.
Dude, I think that is fantastic. Man, oh man, it's fascinating. Like, who can hang with him? Because there's some guys like there's some analysts that sometimes will get that way.
Yeah.
But to have the play-by-play, I've often thought that would be the greatest thing is to do that. And how about Joey Bag of Donuts? What's his name?
Hey, Joey Zanaboni.
There we go.
Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah, that guy's the king.
Oh, and one last thing. I almost forgot this because I wanted to talk a little hockey and then baseball, but I almost forgot the fact that the Mariners.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What the hell? They won 10-0, 10 runs on 13 hits, no home runs, playing some small ball, baby. Kirby looked good.
Yeah.
He looked a little scary at first, but then settled in just fine. Julio Rodriguez finally he had enough with the umpires and he got kicked out of the game in the 8th inning. Did you see that, BJ?
I missed that, but it's about time.
Well, the thing is, the pitch actually did look like a strike, but I think he's just frustrated getting called on strikes a lot. So I did not know that this is a thing, and you probably do, but sometimes the baseball and their weird, traditions and unwritten rules. After he got struck out, you could tell he was frustrated, and he took his bat and he drew a line in the dirt. I guess being like, hey, this is the strike. Yeah. I guess that's a big no-no, and that's and then basically you're just going to get ejected from the game if you do that, and that's exactly what happened, which I think baseball in their rules is weird, man.
I think it'll fire up the team because chances are that a lot of these batters are feeling like they're getting squeezed, especially since they're not hitting the ball. It's a thing. I mean, there's a lot of low averages on that team, and if part of that is that they think they're getting squeezed by umpires around the league, good for Julio. Maybe that, what the team's, you tell him, Julio. Maybe that's just a way to get the team fired up, and they did score 10 runs.
The funny thing is, it was the 8th inning when he did this, so they were already up 9-0.
Wow, so they're already up by a bunch.
I think that's why he did. He's like, you know what? I don't need to be in this game anymore. I kind of want to go grab a shower and relax. Let me get kicked out. They don't need me.
Steve, I'll tell you.
I'm going to make a statement.
That may be that makes you like the kid even more because he got kicked out at a time where it wasn't important.
Yeah.
You may be onto something there that he may have thought in his head. This is the time for me to do something like this, as opposed to if it was a real close game. I don't want to do this.
And he did it in such a weird, nonchalant way. Like you would think, okay, you want to be noticed. Like you take your bat and you scrape it across the dirt, but you just kind of did it almost very subtly. And the fact that the guy picked up on it. It was, obvious. I mean, he's the umpire, but it was such a weird thing because he didn't look like he was legit pissed. I don't know what he was saying, but body language wise, he was just dejected. That's kind of the vibe you got.
I will say that there are some umpires in Major League Baseball that are not good at their craft for whatever reason. And also the idea that catchers are able to cheat as much as they are. And that's the cheating no one talks about. It's called framing the pitch. They're lauded for that. But in reality, it's like they're making balls look like strikes and fooling the umpire. But it really sucks if you're a batter because you learn the strike zone and the catcher's basically cheating by doing that.
The funny part, though, if you watch it, and I'm no umpire, but I once was a catcher in a little league. It looked like a strike to me. That was the best part.
Sometimes it is, yeah. Sometimes you're right. Did they do K-zone and all that and show you? Because that's where I really see that. Okay, if the K-zone says it's a strike, what are you gonna do?
I think he just hit his breaking point. He's probably just like, I'm fed up with these umpires treating me like crap because I'm a rookie.
Yeah, that's another part of it too, Steve. You're right. It's like all these stupid rules that really, I think piss off younger fans as well. You come in and you go, "Why is that a rule? I'm new to the game," and an older person goes, "Because that's the way it is," and that never works. They got to fix some of those old rules that are just dumb.
Who could fix it is Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag of Donuts.
What's his name? Joey Zanaboni.
Yeah.
He actually has a cameo too. Yeah. Which is funny.
Oh, dude. Dude, he must be making some good money doing cameo for the fans of his team.
$8.
Oh, I see. He's affordable. It's just like a minor league baseball. He's doing minor league prices.
Gosh, I wonder what team will be brave enough to bring him up. Because it's got, dude, when you look, I
he also does play-by-play for hockey for the St. Louis Junior Blues.
Who's going to take a shot on him? Because I listen to a lot of baseball around, with my MLB extra innings package, and for the most part, all the play-by-play announcers sound the same.
He also does play-by-play for the St. Louis Ambush, which is a professional indoor soccer club.
Okay, so the guy's got work.
Well, yeah, he's got plenty of work. Clearly likes sports and talking.
Right, well, and also minor league money. He's probably got to work all, to get paid.
I'm sure it's a grind, and I would be surprised if even any of those are considered a full-time job. He's probably just doing this for the pure love of it and having fun while doing it. God forbid.
Yeah. He is definitely needed. I hope the MLB is paying attention to him because they are trying to get young fans, and Joey Bag of Donuts is your boy.
Joey Zanaboni. He wants to be the first real millennial sports announcer who reflects the endless optimism, relentless anxiety, and glorious randomness of this generation.
I love this guy.
Don't drug test him with that kind of bio.
Yeah, I love this guy. He's MLB, pay attention.
Hey, weather, 71 degrees, going to be cloudy today. Thanks to Jersey Mike Subs for giving us the Migs Report, and that's what's up.
All right, yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
Which actor played the Penguin in the recent movie The Batman?
Forever Danny DeVito to me.
Aw.
What's his name? We just talked about him in the phone booth. Colin Farrell.
Wow, yes.
Nice. Wow, you know what? I like how you put that together like your own Sherlock Holmes.
Joey Zanaboni.
What?
I don't know. I just love the name.
Okay. Boy, I was praising you, and then you went and just had a Tourette's moment. You want a shot at beating Zanaboni over here? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.